The first 6 months, as we've mentioned it again and again, were the critical time where we were basically setting the groundwork and the foundations for what's next, which is the development phase. Argentina is this country that has always been eluding her opportunity to basically jump on the bandwagon of growth and of development. So putting the macroeconomic house in order was obviously one of our key priorities. It was something we spent a lot of time at during the political campaign, to the point that we took the risk of anticipating some of the measures that we were going to actually put in place, even if we knew that some of those measures were the kind of short-run pain, long-run gain. We were absolutely transparent about, why we were going to do it, how we were going to do it, and when we were going to do it. It's the macroeconomic imbalances that we've been dealing with. It's the institutional imbalances that we are dealing with. And now I think we've come to a stage where, to the extent that we rebuild credibility, to the extent that we erase, the impediments for investment to create jobs. And this is the reason why we are, having, and Susan, you are hosting this event, and this is why we're so happy that you're offering us the platform. We think the dirty job is mostly done. We had budgeted ourselves the first 6 months in office to do that. We knew this was the time when we had the political capital to be spent, and President Macri is very courageous to actually spend that political capital for a good reason. And we also think that the results are starting to come into place. If we succeed in the Tarifa Social, and if we succeed in implementing this VAT rebate to the most vulnerable, essentially we will have spared this 20 or 25% of the population from the inevitable impact of, censoring, if you will, the repressed inflation from the previous administration. On the fiscal side, our program has been gradual, because there's no other way out. As I mentioned before, we've got the political constraint of not having majority in either chamber, and we've got the social constraint that we inherited a situation whereby more than 30% of our co-nationals are living under the poverty line. So there was no room for, fiscal aggressiveness. We were very open about this, and we came up with a gradual fiscal program. We've got a very important year next year for us, which is midterm elections. We are shooting for getting majority in the lower chamber, and for that we need to work very hard in that regard. But we're confident that with what we've done so far, we've set the groundworks for that to actually happen. Susan is telling me I've got to circle up a little bit, but this is where you guys come into play. I mean, this is where I'm so thrilled that you came over. We need your investment as much as we need our local businessmen investment. Investment and exports will be the engines of our development program. In as much as we get investment and exports, we'll get more and better jobs. And once we get more and better jobs, we'll get also the consumption engine working. And I think during the first 6 months of our administration, we've pushed away a few fears when people said, well, how are you going to manage the country with the trade unions against you? It's not been a problem. How are you going to manage the country with no majorities in Congress? Well, you've seen it already. So my final thought here is hurry up, because the train has already left the station. Thank you very much.